Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Purchase and pricing questions? Direct them to tmosso at thewatchbox.com for this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. And today we're deciding that Vacheron is the order of the hour, and the 40mm Historique triple calendar 1942 is one of the finest Vacherons of the modern era. Launched in late 2017, the watch is extraordinarily stainless steel, and at 40mm, a perfect size, paying homage to the vintage reference 4240 of 1942, but at the same time wearing modern on a modern wrist. Sensibilities born of the 21st century will enjoy this watch, as it's neither too large nor too small, the perfect proportioning for our time. 10.5mm thick by 49mm from lug to lug, with a 19mm spacing between the lugs. Let's throw it real quick on my 16cm circumference wrist. You'll appreciate that it is full-sized without being oversized, but nor is it petite like an older watch might have been. As you can see on my 16cm circumference wrist, it's flat enough to wear underneath a dress cuff, and it's narrow enough across the wrist that I can recommend it for a wrist of 14 centimeters circumference or larger. Now, taking a quick look at the accessories, Vacheron gives you a large rectangular scale alligator leather strap, navy blue. There is a sheer-sided construction, so you can see the layers of leather, and there's a monotone stitch. You'll also appreciate that Vacheron gives you a simple Maltese cross polished pin buckle for quick on-the-fly adjustment. It's also consistent with the vintage imagery. Now, the watch is inspired by late Art Deco, so you can see that machine-style triple-gadron polished stainless steel case flank and the corne de vache or cow horn lugs that give this watch immense charm. You can see a Vacheron Maltese cross, high polished crown, and then there is a sapphire crystal with a little bit of a domed camber to it to evoke a vintage plexiglass, as you would have seen on the 1940s original. The dial is handsome and surprisingly nuanced, as there are several different tones and textures. Outboard, there's a railroad track for the minutes, and you can see ultra narrow needle style blued steel hands for the minutes and the hours. There is a red varnished indicator for the radial date, and you can see that there's a silver track underneath the date, which is satin silver, and then all of the numerals themselves are radially arrayed, so they turn on their side, then upside down, then onto their opposite side before realigning at 31 at the top. Blue on silver, it's a handsomely printed track. You'll also note that all of the printing on the day as well as the month disc and the numerals for the hours, it's all blue, which contrasts in a handsome fashion with the white and sunburst champagne elements of the dial. There is a concentric circular azurage guilloche toward the small seconds at 6 o'clock, and you can see that the dial base is a sunburst champagne color that's difficult to describe but beautiful in person. There is a white gold applique Maltese cross logo at 12 o'clock on the dial. Turn it all over, and we have a modern movement. You can see properly sized to fit the case. This is Vacheron's caliber 4400. One feature about the case I want to shout out is that it bears the Poinçon de Genève, or the Geneva hallmark, as since 2012 the Geneva hallmark is a full watch standard, no longer just about movement finish, though you can see it does feature the Poinçon de Genève on the movement. Manual wind, 28,800 vibrations per hour, adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer with 21 joules. This movement, which is made entirely in-house, has a 65-hour power reserve in the case around it, a 30-meter water resistance. Now you can see there's a mirrored anglage that's glinting and gleaming on the edge of the bridges. I'll try to show it to advantage, but it's difficult to get that off-axis glow inside a light box without direct lighting, but you can see that gleam on the edge of the bridges, and you can also see it perhaps a bit more easily in every jewel and screw countersink. There are stripes across the bridges laid down with an abrasive wheel, engine-turned perlage on the base plate, and all of the screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots and circumference. All of the wheels, likewise, I should say, feature beveled spokes and satin finish on their tops, with satin finish on the single large mainspring barrel, which is partially visible under a semi-evacuated barrel bridge. A handsome looking movement that pays one quick homage to the pocket watch era in its true center wheel architecture. We have the barrel, the center wheel, third wheel, fourth wheel, and escape wheel. So in a lot of ways, though this is a modern wristwatch movement, it does have some elements of pocket watch architecture, a nod to Vacheron's heritage dating back to 1755, most of which consisted of pocket watch production. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details, and of course remember, on a modern wrist, this watch is quite fetching, even as it is redolent of the best elements of the past. tmosso at thewatchbox.com.